How you doing out there, folks? Yes, it's me, Frankie, the unknown songwriter. Yeah, I'm making another video right now. I just made one recently, but it's about the comments. I was going through some of the older songs that I did a few months ago. I noticed a comment. It was on an Jolson song. I had done an album of his swing songs, and I read the comment, and the guy says, "How did you put that together? Did you do each song and then you recorded it all together like that as one?" No, I didn't. It was 17 songs. I told him I did them right in a row. I guess he was thinking it'd be hard to sit there for like 40 minutes and do 17 songs and know them all. I said, well, that's the way it was, so I did it. And he thought that how I do one song and then another song and another. So I did 17 songs, and I played each one back, and I recorded it on one, and then I posted it or uploaded it. But that's not so. I know what he's saying because years ago I would take stuff that I had on one videotape, and I would I had another machine with a blank, and I would say, well, I'm going to put all this on this tape. So I would hit record, and then I would pause it, and then put something else, pause it. Well, that would have come out like that, but So after that comment, I said, well, let me share it on Twitter. So on Twitter, I put it on there again, and I said it was Al Jolson Swing album, and the 17 songs. And I listed the songs, most of them, and I put a thread, for the songs. I wanted them to realize they're full songs. It wasn't just like parts of the song, like in a medley. But I did that, and well, I'm doing this video now. I'm going to upload it on YouTube and then post it on Twitter so they'll understand why I'm doing this. Because I don't even know how I sat there for 40 minutes, like I'm doing here now, but not 40 minutes. I mean, because when you're doing those songs, a lot of times my nose might itch, might have to sneeze, I might have to cough, go to the bathroom or anything. But in that 40 minutes, I didn't. I don't know, because I never really intended to do that. But after I did it, I said, well, I did know most of the songs, and I'm surprised it came out like it did. But, doing so many, when I got to the last few songs, I knew what the last song was. When I start getting near the end, my mouth starts getting tired. I guess there's so much movement like that. So I did it, and then I decided, now when I read the comment, let me put it on. It's already on YouTube, so let me put it on Twitter. So this is when people on Twitter, view this video, they'll know what I really did do that, one right after another, one recording. So I mentioned that. There was another comment. This guy said to me, I'm a throwback. A throwback. And then he went on to say that if you went back in time to the 1930s, 40s, you would fit right in. Even the way you dress with the hat and glass, you wouldn't even stick out. You would just blend right in. Yeah, I guess so. I wish I could have lived then. I would have probably enjoyed it more than maybe I'm enjoying life now. But my parents did live then. They lived back in that time period. They were in show business. My father and mother, that's how they met. They did the 1933 World's Fair in Chicago, and then the 1939-40 World's Fair in New York, and other shows and all. My father was a song and dance man and a barker on the sideshow. He did stunts in silent movies. Yeah, he was pretty active. And my mother was also a daredevil. She rode a motorcycle and did stunts up and down a straight wall and a lot of other things. She was a fortune teller. She was an exhibit they had, Olga the Headless Girl. She was Olga. She knows how it was done. It was an illusion. And she said sometimes she was Olga and sometimes she was a nurse. I actually have a picture of her that she left me of her doing it. She did exotic dancing also. So, being in show business like that, and then when I was a kid, they were playing all these Al Jolson songs all the time. I grew up listening to Al Jolson, so I kind of didn't know a lot of the songs. So they even told me, my mother told me one time when I got a little older, I asked about the Al Jolson. She said, yeah, we even knew, we met him. He was at the World's Fair a couple of times that he sang at the World's Fair. I said, oh, that was, I didn't know too much about him then. And that's how come I started doing his songs. When I started doing all these Al Jolson songs, and then I said, well, maybe I could do other singers. Why not? It's just that I was so familiar with the way he sang and all, and he has a certain way his voice was. A lot of people imitate him. I was imitating him a little bit, because I used to hear it so much. Like when he did "Mammy" was one of the songs. Mammy, don't you know me? I'm your little baby. I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles on my Mammy. Yeah, I don't want to do that, but you can see what I'm saying. That's how come I do his songs pretty good. So that's pretty much it. That album again, it's on Twitter right now. I just did it again. I'm still amazed when I look at it. It came out as good as it did. Because usually when I do one song, I go over it and then I do it. Now another song, I go over and I do it. But in that case, it was one right after another. I couldn't have done that. So that's what's a little bit interesting about it, So I think that covers a couple comments there, that I got. I just happened to find them. I was looking back at the songs. I said, wait a minute, that's an old comment. It didn't come up on the YouTube Studio app I have because they only put it, I didn't have it then. So now if someone makes a comment about a song that I performed, 6 months ago, it'll come up now. And I'll know, and I can answer the person. I end up answering now. I've been answering the comments. That's why I'm looking back at some of the old ones. So now that I mentioned Al Jolson, and I'm going to do a song. Well, I should be able to do one. It's not one of my best ones, but I'm going to do it because it's sort of like for all the people who passed away, from the COVID-19, that I think it's like in memory of these people, because the song is "When I Leave the World Behind," and that's what they all did. There's nothing they can do. Once that gets a hold of you, that's it. You go to sleep and you don't wake up. So that's in memory of all these people who also have passed away through the riots, through the normal accidents and all these things. That it's going to be in memory of them I'm doing this song. And Al Jolson's very sentimental in this song also. It's an old recording. I noticed a little bit of cracking in it, like through the song, but I checked all the versions of it, but it's that way when he made the song. Because when he did songs, he did them on radio, in movies too, but mostly on radio and album, records. Okay, so I think I covered this comments now, and then I'm just gonna, I'll be uploading this and posting it so that everybody if you wanted to listen to the album with the 17 songs, it's on Twitter right now. You could go ahead and just go into YouTube and look up "When I Left the World Behind" by Frankie the Unknown Songwriter. It's going to come up. I already did it, but I'm not putting that on now. I'm doing it now when I make this video. So okay, "When I Leave the World Behind" by Al Jolson.
I know a millionaire who's burdened down with care. A load is on his mind. He is thinking of the day when he must pass away and leave his wealth behind. I haven't any gold to leave when I grow old. Somehow it passed me by. I'm very poor, but still I leave a precious will when I must say goodbye. I leave the sunshine to the flowers. I leave the springtime to the trees, and to the old folks I leave the memories of a baby upon their knees. I leave the night time to the dreamers. I leave the songbirds to the blind. I leave the moon above to those in love when I leave the world behind. When I leave the world behind. I leave the sunshine to the flowers. I leave the springtime to the trees, and to the old folks I leave the memories of a baby on their knees. I leave the night time to the dreamers. I leave the songbirds